Hello and welcome to another booktube video from me, Lauren, from Lauren and the Books. I'm a bit cold actually. I feel like I might go and get my scarf to warm myself up. Hold on. Minnie, why are you looking at me so beautifully? I just got home and Minnie was all on the sofa like, why are you home so early? Bing, bing. Today I'm going to be talking about two theatre productions that I've been to see recently. So I was going to include these in my favourites because they've both been my favourites from this month of February, of which we're only 8 days into. But I thought it would be nice to do a sort of separate video. I remember watching one of Lauren's from Read and Daydreams videos talking about theatre productions she was looking forward to watching, and I thought, whoa, I enjoyed watching that. I will do a video talking about two things that I have enjoyed watching. So the two things that I've been to see recently, I actually went to the theatre 4 times in 2 weeks, which is unheard of. But the two things I'm going to be talking about today are Fantastic Mr. Fox, which I saw at the Lyric Theatre in Hammersmith in London, and Pride and Prejudice, which I saw at the Marlow Theatre in Canterbury in Kent. So Fantastic Mr. Fox was a surprise birthday present from one of my friends, Dolores, and her husband, Darren. We went up to London and went for dinner at Dishoom, by the way. Has anyone been to Dishoom? It's delicious. It's like Indian street food, loads of little dishes. My favourite sort of food, where you just get loads and loads of food. You can try loads of different stuff. So we had that first, then it was a surprise, and she popped us on the tube and was taking us down to... We were gradually reaching Hammersmith, and I was thinking, oh, I wonder what's on at the Apollo in Hammersmith, because that is obviously where we're going. It wasn't where we're going. We went to the Lyric Theatre, which is a theatre I'd never been to before. Very small. We were in the circle. So very good seats just to the side. And we went to see Fantastic Mr. Fox, which was fantastic. I really loved it. It was such good fun. It was aimed at children, however that did not stop any of the enjoyment, and it was sort of like there was multi-layers of like adults being able to enjoy it as well as children. And there was also a sort of like vibrator joke in there, which we didn't particularly love, but we were like, oh, I see you've tried to make this appealing for all. The main thing that we loved about it was the sets. The sets were amazing. There was a great use of foam, loads of props, and the sets were foam based, so sort of characters could like barrel through stuff, and props could be thrown and without any worry of them doing any damage. And when they were sort of like breaking into the set, because it is called the Badgers set, they would like remove a piece of foam from a wall which you thought was solid, and yeah, it was just really well done. Another thing I loved about it was the scale. The use of scale was amazing. So when the foxes were in their den, called a Fox's Den? I think it's called a Fox's Den. They had these massive washing powder boxes, which were as big as them, and a humongous lamp that looked like a desk lamp but was huge, and a massive like calculator type thing. And then when the farmers were in there, they were just normal size washing powder boxes. It was a desk lamp and a small calculator, which was really like, I really enjoyed that. I found that really fun. What else did I like? The original songs. There was lots of original songs, which sometimes when I go and see something and there's original songs, sometimes feel a bit left out, because I'm like, oh, I wish I knew the songs. Which is why I think I enjoyed Wicked much more the second time round. But I didn't feel like that at all. You felt really inclusive. A lot of them were very like aimed at children, obviously, so quite a bit of repetition, but they were just joyful. They were really joyful songs. And finally, the cast was amazing. They had multiple, so the actors played multiple parts, but it didn't sort of impinge on it at all. So Badger also played Bean, and Mole was also played by Boggart, Bean, and one of the other farmers, and also the band were dressed as little birds, and they sort of come on at the beginning of the first half and the second half and did a bit of singing, and then they would go to their little bandstand at the back and just be dressed as birds playing instruments, which was amazing. It was super fun. I really hope it's touring, because I would really recommend people to go. I believe it's finishing sort of mid-February at the Lyric Theatre, but I really hope it's touring, because I really feel like it would be great fun for all the family. Like, we were all people in our 30s sat there enjoying it. We're all people in our 30s, sat there enjoying it and absolutely loved it. So I really think, like, if you've got children and you get the opportunity to go, then take them, because you will love it as much as they will love it as well. So that was very enjoyable. The second thing I went to see the following week, the very same week in fact, I went on the Thursday to see Fantastic Mr. Fox, and then on the Saturday I went to see Pride and Prejudice at the Marlow Theatre in Canterbury. This was a present for my birthday from my best friend Emma. So Emma and I went along. We had a lovely day. Bit of Wagamamas, some shopping. Went home, played Sushi Go. Enjoyable. But Pride and Prejudice was brilliant. I'll start with the sets. We were both super impressed with the set. The set was on a rotating circular stage, and the back half, which obviously became the front when it was rotated, was a sort of ornate metal structure which had 2 stories and doubled and arches which we used throughout as windows, doorways, at one point picture frames, which was really interesting. When Elizabeth was looking at the picture of Darcy, they had the actual actor who was Darcy stood in this archway like a picture frame, which was super impressive. I loved the changing of it. So you would see, for instance, at one point when they're having a family meal at the Bennet's house, their table was in the middle of this rotating stage, and we would look at it from the outside with the ornate metalwork at the front of the stage, which would then turn around and we would be able to see. And it was just it offered so many angles from so many different for the audience. It was really, really fun and enjoyable. I really enjoyed the indoor-outdoor feel. So, for instance, we'd be sort of sat in. They'd be at the front of the stage with this metal framing, and you'd know that they would be in a lounge, and then that would be pushed to the back, and they'd be outside the house, and it was really, really cool. What I also enjoyed was that the stage crew who would change the sets and stuff were dressed as like the staff, so they were dressed as ladies' maids and in the livery, like what are those guys called? Come on, I've watched Downton Abbey forever and ever. Footmen. So they would be changing the scenery, so that was happening like while everyone else was on stage. It was just really, really, like, it was very smoothly done. Move my little footstool here. It was really smoothly done and just really impressive. I really liked that as well. Another thing I liked that isn't to do with the set was that when they would read letters, like whoever's read Pride and Prejudice will know that there's loads and loads of letters going on, lots of reveals. The way they read letters, I found it was really enjoyable. So, for instance, Elizabeth would be stood there reading this letter, and they would have the actor who was Darcy speaking the letter, so you would know that the letter was from Darcy, and that was just super impressive. One of the ones I liked was when, at the beginning, when Jane's ill, and Jane was all like bundled up in a blanket, like talking with a cold as Elizabeth read her letter out, which was really sweet. I also found the production really funny. So I've read Pride and Prejudice a number of times, probably about 4 or 5 times, and although I'm aware of its sort of humour, I've never raised more of a from me. Like, enjoyed it nevertheless, but never like been laughing. I was really chuckling at some points in this. They were very good. There was quite a bit of sort of breaking the fourth wall, but not in a just like there was a lot of sort of like looks at the audience when Mrs. Bennet was saying something, who was played by Felicity Montague, who is Lynn in Alan Partridge. She was an amazing Mrs. Bennet. Similarly, Matthew Kelly from the 90s, from UK TV. What was that programme he did? Stars in Their Eyes. He was Mr. Bennet, and he was really good as well. He was very good, sort of like just had a good stage presence. Very much enjoyed him. The only thing I would say about it, and Emma and I both noticed this and sort of turned to each other and said to each other in the interval about it, was the actress who played Elizabeth Bennet was a bit like this. She sort of talked a bit like this. So, oh, Mr. Darcy! It was a bit like that. God, I've even surprised myself with how much I was enunciating. So, and once we'd realised that, we could, and now I've told all you lot, I couldn't not realise it. Oh, the beautiful sun. Oh, my light's just gone on. I was like, where's all this sunshine come from? Couldn't not notice that. So that was honestly, the only complaint I would have about the whole thing was that Elizabeth Darcy was a bit, I don't even know what. But there was just the way she was sort of enunciating her words, I was a bit like, oh, come on, babes, play it down a bit. But that is honestly like the smallest thing in the whole thing. I really, really enjoyed it. So those are 2 things that I've seen at the theatre recently. Do let me know if this video was worth a watch and worth a making to chat about things that we've seen at the theatre. Let me know if any of you have seen either of these things. I imagine not. They're quite a short run. I think Pride and Prejudice is touring the country at the moment, so there might be you may well be seeing it another theatre throughout. Let me know if you've been to see anything at the theatre recently, or if you're going to see anything at the theatre. David and I are off to see Les Mis next month. Another birthday present from my friends Brian, Amy, Alex and Kate. They got me tickets to see Les Mis, so David and I are going to see Les Mis. Next month we've got quite a few things on this year. Obviously going to see Harry Potter, we're going to see the Christmasaurus in December, and also the stage play of Nativity also in December. So we've got quite a few things coming up, but I'm always interested to hear what other people are going to see or what they've seen and enjoyed, because I'd love some recommendations. Haven't got anything in for the summer at the moment, so probably would like to go and see something. So do let us know if you've seen anything that's coming out in the summer, or if you've seen things that are ongoing. Would love to hear from you all, and I'll see you all again for another BookTube video on Friday. Oh my god, I've just remembered, it's Cozy Reading Night on Saturday. I hope you're all looking forward to joining in. I will link my announcement video down below. Cozy Reading Night is a night where I just sit up on the sofa, and I'm active on Twitter and Instagram between 7 and 10 GMT time, and we just have a lovely read, we eat snacks, we're snuggled up in blankets, got nice pyjamas on, and just have a lovely time. So I would love for all of you guys to join me. As I said, I will link my announcement video down below, and hopefully you will be joining in, and it will be my Cozy Reading Night TBR will be going up on Friday. So I will see you all then. Goodbye!